Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 3 of Quarantine Kisses, a reading series. Let me remove this. Now, the name of this story is Frank Trocadero. Remember, it's only a story. Yeah, I'm Merle, I said, my stomach fluttering. I plastered my arms to my sides in an undercover effort to stem the furious eruption of sweat that leaked from my purse-beshielded armpits. These lame pieces of equipment were held onto my shoulders by thin elastic straps, and the plastic armpit ovals were supposed to keep you desert dry. They didn't work. You just said Merle, right? Said Frank Trocadero, a senior who'd stayed back not once, but twice, making him older than us sophomores and instantly sexy. Even sexier was his nickname, Trouble. Yes, Merle, I said, batting my eyes at Trouble as he leaned against our lunchroom table. I recognized the scent of Old Spice as it wafted out of his shirt. Thoughts like, I can't believe he's talking to me, or my breath. And what if he can see my purse-shields? Crossed my brain. I squeezed my arms into my body again and ran my tongue across my teeth to remove any hidden food particles. Listen, said Trouble, lifting my chin with his finger. You want to meet me after school one day and maybe go for a ride on my motorcycle? The right side of his luscious lip curled into a half smile like Elvis Presley. Even though I knew squat about sports, I was a cheerleader, and practice was held after school. Trouble lowered his green eyes to half-mast to show off his long black eyelashes. His dark, wavy hair fell across his shoulders and brushed the tops of his cheekbones. I stood up to get away from the girls' giggles and noticed Trouble's eye level was just a hair above mine. Not so tall. I didn't consciously hear what he was saying as I was mesmerized by the way his lips were moving. When I revived from my daydream, I heard myself say, Sure, I'll meet you after cheerleading practice. Where? Trouble nodded confidently and smirked at his friends who were hanging around the cafeteria door. Meet me in front of the 7-Eleven. I'll be there from after school on, he said, walking away. We get out at 4:30, so I can't stay long, I called after him. He nodded without turning around. Cool. Barb, I whispered to my best friend. I said I'd meet him. What if my parents see me? They'll completely freak out. Well, don't go then. But he's so cute, I said, fanning my face. Call me later, she said, shaking her head. Miss T, I've got really bad cramps, I said, clutching my gut. I'm not going to make it to practice today. Merle, you can only miss two times, you know, so choose your misses wisely, she said. Miss T patted my shoulder. I'll see you Thursday then. I walked to the 7-Eleven, totally titillated by my meeting with Trouble. My pits were damp again, but there was nothing to do but raise my arms and hope for a breeze. After strategically placing my ironed hair on top of the pimple that had sprouted on my right cheek, I adjusted my bra around my boobs. The final touch was pearly white, Yardley Slicker lipstick. It came in a striped tube. When I hit the parking lot, Trouble was there, perched on his Harley and drinking a large Slurpee. My heart was pounding, my gut was clenching, and I was shaking like a Java junkie. In spite of all of this, I inserted what I hoped was a sexy wiggle into my walk. Hey, you made it early. It's Merle, right? Said Trouble. I couldn't believe he asked me that again. Yeah, I said. Why would I risk getting grounded for a guy who couldn't even remember my name? I thought you got out at 4:30. I usually do, but she canceled my part of the practice today, I said, employing the chicks with teased hair accent. I was lying all over the place, and I wasn't even dating Trouble yet. God, please don't let my parents see me. Everyone in town knew Frank Trocadero was bad, and he wasn't Jewish. If he had been bad but Jewish, maybe I might have been committing a lesser sin in Mom's eyes. What did you do after school? I wished I had gum to chew, like the tough girls did. Trouble laughed. I hardly ever show up to school. It don't matter, though. My old man owns a machine shop, and that's where I'm going to work when I get out of that dump. Really? What's a machine shop? It's where they make, they have machines and they make shit and stuff. I don't know how to explain. I already work there sometimes when my old man lets me. He nodded like he knew something big. Cool, I said. I was stuck staring at his eyes. They were like green as grapes and stood out like candle lights because of his olive skin. My heart was running a marathon inside my chest. Trouble laughed. Listen, Merle. Hop on the back. I want to take you for a ride. Oh, I don't know. My dad sees me. Oh, yeah, right. Daddy. He paused. Well, let's take a walk then. He smiled at me. His teeth were even and white, except for his left canine, which twisted in a sexy way. He grabbed my hand, which was clammy, of course, and wrapped it in his own. His hand was warm and a lot bigger than mine. I felt like the coolest girl in the world. We walked back towards the school's football field. Let's go the back way, Trouble, okay? I said. I was afraid Miss T might see me. When we got closer, I strained to see if the squad was on or near the field. It looked clear. I exhaled. What? You didn't want anyone to see you with me? He said. His voice ended on an up note that sounded like his feelings were hurt. No, it's not that at all, I said, squeezing his hand. We walked silently, gently kicking up dust and rocks along the sidewalk. Let's sit here, he said, pointing to the bleachers at the farthest end of the football field. I knew this was where his crew hung out. I'd heard them laughing and cursing under there sometimes when I was heading home. It was cool under there, because the sun couldn't reach in between the warm wooden slats. The dirt was strewn with cigarette butts. Some of the filters were rimmed with pink lipstick. Trouble pulled out his hard pack of Marlboro Reds and whipped out a joint instead of a cigarette. He lit up and took some pulls. Oh, I can't say no to this too. He'll think I'm a loser. Thank you, I said, reaching for the joint. I'd smoked before, but I didn't really do it on a school day. I took a hit. I was drawing circles in the dirt with a stick when Trouble stared at me. After an awkward silence, he took up my hand and held it to his heart. Merle, I think you're beautiful. And I want to make love to you. This kid doesn't beat around the bush. Beautiful? I think that's a bit of a stretch, I thought. Well, my mom told me not to. I blubbered. I can't, have sex. My mother said I'd done some heavy making out and feeling up, but not down there before. And sex? He placed my chin in the palm of his hand and looked me square in the eyes. Merle, that's cute that you listen to your mommy. But I think it's time for you to grow up and listen to me instead. He pulled me close and placed his bountiful lips on mine. I was shaken and stirred like a dirty martini. And then Trouble stuck his hand gently inside my shirt and under my bra. I didn't push it away. We were rolling around in the dirt, and the next thing I knew, Trouble had my pants pulled partway down and was struggling to get his hand inside my underpants. Oh, everything was going way too fast for me, and this act would surely not get the mom's stamp of approval. Get off me! Get off! I was a trembling mixture of fear and desire, but I managed to push him away. He crawled back and tried to hold me down and kiss my neck, but I got a weird burst of extra strength and threw him back a couple of feet. He landed on his butt and started laughing. Not funny ha-ha, but evil-like. I heard you Jewish girls like to have a lot of sex. I guess that's bullshit. He turned his face and said sideways, Get the fuck away from me. You're just a little kid. He hurled a gob of spit a few feet in front of him and wiped his lips. I got up fast, tried to button my blouse, brushed the dirt off my pedal pushers, flipped him the finger and said, Go fuck yourself, and lurched out of the dusty underbelly of the bleachers. My eyes narrowed in the bright sun, and when they adjusted, I noticed a couple of his friends were stationed across the street. I panicked, and they started clapping and hollering, You're not such a nice girl, huh, Merle? I walked away as fast as I could, tripping on the buckling sidewalk. They started chanting, Bad girl Merle! Bad girl Merle! Hot, salty tears wet my eyes, running my mascara. A giant lump strangled my throat. I swallowed hard and upped my pace. Cheerleaders, one of them yelled. Frank Trocadero was a nasty prick. He's a bastard. But, wow, he's a good kisser. Christ almighty, Merle, I pray to baby Jesus or Moses or whoever that Mom isn't home right now. She sees me, I'm dead meat. She'll know something happened.